In chapter 2762, Sony's initial feelings of anger and grievance began to dissipate after being reassured by Duncan. The source of Sony's distress had been the belief that Duncan had gone to see her mother without informing him, leaving him feeling left out and neglected. Duncan, understanding the importance of Sony's trust, promised to take him to see his mother the coming Friday after school and to return on Sunday afternoon. This promise not only calmed Sony but also provided Duncan with a legitimate reason to visit Liberty over the weekend. Sony, now reassured by Duncan's promise, felt a renewed sense of trust and declared his belief in Duncan's honesty. However, he still harbored a concern about whether their visit would disrupt Liberty's work. He understood that her mother's busy schedule was driven by her desire to provide a good life for him, and he did not want to burden her further. Duncan eased his worries by explaining that their visit would actually provide his mother with much needed relaxation and support, enabling her to be more efficient in her work afterward. Despite Duncan's reassurances, the little boy insisted on personally confirming with his mother. Duncan, recognizing the importance of this, handed the phone back to Liberty, allowing Sony to speak directly to her. After a brief negotiation, she consented to the visit, realizing she too longed to see her son. She trusted that with Duncan's presence, Sony would be well taken care of. This resolution brought immense joy to Sony, who happily ended the call, his earlier grievances forgotten. With the phone call over, Sony's demeanor brightened considerably. Serenity, who had been observing the interaction, noted Sony's change in mood and inquired if he still felt upset. Now, Sony, excited about the upcoming visit to his mother, confirmed that he was no longer angry or aggrieved. He eagerly asked Serenity what day it was and how many days were left until Friday. Upon learning it was Monday and that he had 4 days to wait, he felt the wait was manageable and his mood lifted even further. Sony, now brimming with excitement, turned to his friend Titus to share his joy. He suggested that Titus could join him in visiting his mother, demonstrating his childlike enthusiasm and desire to share his happiness. Titus, however, faced a different reality. Unlike Sony, who had the opportunity to see his parents regularly, Titus was an orphan adopted by Jane. Though Jane, his uncle Ben Johnson, and his master loved him dearly, he sometimes felt the absence of biological parents keenly. Despite this, Titus did not dwell on his envy for long. As a young child, he quickly became engrossed in the present moment, focusing on the playtime and friendships around him. He informed Sony that he had to return home that afternoon, as he had responsibilities, including attending classes and avoiding punishments from his master, who would sometimes assign him the arduous task of copying medical books. This chapter delves into the complexities of childhood emotions and relationships. Sony's initial sense of betrayal and subsequent reassurance from Duncan highlight the delicate balance of trust in a child's world. His interactions with Duncan and Liberty reflect a deep need for emotional security and validation. Meanwhile, Titus's brief envy and quick shift back to enjoying his time with his friend underscore the resilience and adaptability of children.